What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at the Franklin C45. This is Franklin's newest paddle, and after spending a bunch of time with it over the past few weeks, I can confidently say that it's their best one yet. So let's dive into the specs and see what makes it different. So starting with the basics. This is a hybrid shaped paddle coming in at 16.3 inches long by 7.6 inches wide and featuring a 5.7 inch handle. It has a very low stock weight range of 7.6 to 7.9 ounces. And that low weight also gives it a very low average swing weight of 104, but also a low average twist weight of 5.6. More on that weight in a minute. But now on to the interesting stuff. This paddle was made using a double thermoforming process and features what Franklin calls their Power Flex core with CNC machined foam channels. And without getting too nerdy on what all of that means, these paddles are made in multiple stages that should ensure that all the layers go together properly while reducing the risk of core crush and increasing durability. And lastly, the face is made up of 3 layers of T700 carbon fiber, all oriented at 45 degrees from each other, which is where the paddle gets its name, the C45. And lastly, the C45 will retail for $230, but if you use discount code SCOOTER, you can save 10%, bringing it down to $207. And before we get into how the paddle plays, if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, it really does help make reviews like this possible. Alright, so all of that sounds good on paper, but how does it play? So the first thing I noticed about the C45 is the pop. This paddle is up there with the poppiest paddles on the market. But the paddle is so light out of the box that it actually felt like it was lacking power and plow through. So after testing it stock for a few games, I knew I needed to add some weight to it. And while I think there are pros and cons to paddles that need weight right out of the box to reach their full potential, Franklin is doing something pretty cool, and they'll be posting the preferred weight setups of some of their sponsored athletes. For my personal taste, I ended up adding about 6 inches of Pickleball Effect 1 gram per inch tungsten tape directly along the sides of the paddle, and that made a huge difference for me. It really opened up the sweet spot and massively improved the stability and plow through of the paddle. And I think once you've got it weighted up, it becomes one of the most playable power paddles available. It still leans pop over power, but it certainly isn't missing put-away power when you need it. It's also a very predictable paddle with a more linear power curve, which means most people could pick it up and get used to playing with it without a huge adjustment period. And that C45 face layup gives it a nice, soft, more flexible feeling than a lot of 14mm thermoformed paddles, which definitely makes it feel a bit more forgiving on control shots and at the net. And that paired with the Gen 3 foam enhancement makes this a very fun and enjoyable paddle to play with. It's fast, poppy, and powerful, all while maintaining decent control. Lastly, Franklin will be releasing more thickness and shape options in the coming months, and I'm super excited to see what Franklin makes of this product line. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and stay tuned, I have more reviews coming soon.